What is up, UDK Sports Talk family? I wanted to come on here and talk about the recent controversy that has been going on between Stephen A. Smith and Josh Hart. Now, I'm not going to make this long-winded. I'm just going to give you a short take on my thoughts about it and where I stand on it, right? Because you've heard me say this before. I believe that Stephen A. Smith is a fraud. Though I respect what he does for the community and what he does in the sports talk world as a reporter, I dislike the fact that he claims that the Knicks are his team, but he continuously disrespects them for clicks. Now, in terms of fandom and business, right, we can't get the two misconstrued. Stephen A. Smith could very well be a diehard Knicks fan, but he's not too much of a diehard Knicks fan where it interferes with his pockets. He understands that when he talks negatively about the Knicks, that he's going to get more clicks, more views, which leads to more money and more ratings. That is what he's looking for. And the issue that I have with it is because he has came on First Take multiple times talking about the New York Knicks. He doesn't get some of the players right. You can tell he doesn't watch the games, and you can tell he really doesn't know what's going on with this team overall, which is why a lot of Knicks fans don't co-sign a lot of the things that he says. There are a lot of analysis guys that go on sports talk that voice their concerns about their team, but also still show support towards them. We all know how Skip Bayless was with the Dallas Cowboys. We know how he was. Look at how Kendrick Perkins is talking about his Celtics, his OKC Thunder. Look at how Jay Williams is talking about Duke. Look at how supportive they are, but they do provide criticisms to their teams. Is Stephen A. Smith wrong for his thoughts on it? Mikal Bridges absolutely is not playing up to his potential. He's not playing as good as you would like, given the fact that we did trade 7 picks for him. That is the reality. So if we're talking about a take aspect, it is not a bad take. Do I believe Mikal Bridges is a heck of a player? Absolutely. Do I believe he has the potential to be a great player? Absolutely. But he's not playing up to what the trade value was and the bag that he got in the offseason. That is the truth. But this is my issue. Stephen A. Smith goes on and tries to sun Josh Hart. Josh Hart is one of the key integral pieces of this team. He knows more about what's going on with the inner dynamic of the Knicks locker room than Stephen A. Smith ever can. He spoke about his relationship being that he's close to the people who cut his checks. Well, then if that's the case, why do you talk about them in a negative light? Listen, man, when you start talking about relationships, credentials, to justify why you can say what you say about an opposing player, when you have no idea of the dynamic within the locker room, it's ridiculous. We all know what it is. Knicks for clicks. And to be honest with you, I don't respect that. And I'm not going to respect that simply because you say that you're a New Yorker. You say you're from Hollis, Queens, right? You say that publicly. You don't run from that. But when the New York Knicks are good, all you want to do is degrade them when they have off performances. When they're great, you don't even really want to talk about them. So what are we doing here? You show more support towards St. John's than you did the New York Knicks. We all saw those takes he was making. You said that they could potentially go to the Final Four and make a run to go all the way. Stephen A. Smith is out of touch with reality with the New York Knicks. You don't just throw the Knicks under the bus for your own money. How much of a fan are you? Now, I get it. He's been a fan for years since what did he say, from the 70s? I'm not going to contest that. But there is a way to be critical of a team while also still showing support to a team that you claim you're a diehard fan off of. Don't come on here criticizing Mikal Bridges, right, during the regular season and then say, I knew he had it in him when he makes a big play in the postseason, which he will. I'm going to say that right now. He will. Don't come over here talking about orange and blue skies then, brother. You need to pick a side. This is the thing, right? When you make these hot takes and you say some of the things that you say on these platforms, you got to stand on it. Stand on business, like Kendrick Perkins says. Stand on it and don't deviate. So if you're against Mikal Bridges, don't switch up in the postseason, dog. That's where you lose credibility. And that's how I feel about it. You try to sun one of the players based on your platform and based on your notoriety and your credentials. Just because you were a journalist and covered these teams for years doesn't give you the right to publicly disrespect players and get personal with it. Your job is to talk about players, right? Talk about their performance. How about you talk about the X's and O's aspect? Talk about offense and defense. Why are these players struggling? Get into that. That is good sports talk. That's what the community wants to hear. Not confusing McBride with Grimes. Not calling Michelle Bridges. Not disrespectful like that. Not trying to sun Josh Hart talking about your credentials because you feel like you can always get the last word because of your platform. Yes, you get the platform, bro. But the New York Knicks fan base is not going to want to mess with you. And they're not going to claim you. So at some point, you're going to have to pick a side. Are you with the Knicks or are you with your bag? There's a way to get your bread while also being a Knicks fan. When you throw your team under the bus for your own benefit, right, for money and ratings, you lose a lot of respect. And that's where I am with it. Stephen A. Smith, no doubt about it, is 100% a diehard Knicks fan. But he ain't a diehard Knicks fan enough to mess with his bag. He will throw the Knicks under the bus for ratings in a heartbeat if it means that's what it would take for him to still have the number one show. And that's what it is. That's the reality. From a business aspect, I do not disagree with that decision, right? Because it makes you more money, gets more clicks. I respect the hustle, man. I know what it's like. I respect the hustle, right? But stay no business with your takes, dog. Don't deviate. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Check off the bell notification icon to become part of the family. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Stephen A. Smith, Josh Hart controversy. Is Stephen A. Smith out of pocket for taking things to a personal level? And for the record, I don't disagree with what Josh Hart was saying. Josh Hart never once threw Stephen A. Smith under the bus. He was just asked a question. He just answered it. And he took it personal and went to his credentials and then gets mad at Hart for responding and then comes out with what he says. This is what it is. Ain't no love, bro. You took it personal. So when you take it personal, don't come over here trying to shake my hand either. Yes, you got a job to talk, but the minute you get personal, miss me with that. You go for a handshake now, bump out of here, bro. We're not doing that. Stay on business, Josh Hart. That's why we mess with you in New York. Have a great day, you guys.